Why a 9-to-5 job will never make you rich, and what to do instead. The quiet confession. I need to tell you something. Something I wish someone had told me years ago. Not in a classroom, not in a boardroom, just honestly. Like one human being sitting across from another and saying what needed to be said. Working a 9-to-5 job will most likely never make you rich. Let that land. I know how that feels to hear. Maybe you've been at your job for years, sacrificing weekends, missing family moments, and pushing through exhaustion because you believed that if you worked hard enough, long enough, and loyally enough, it would be enough. And I'm not here to tell you your hard work doesn't matter. It does. It always does. But hard work and wealth building are not the same thing. And nobody, not your school, not your employer, not the system that shaped you, ever explain the difference. Until today. This video isn't about quitting your job. It's not about overnight success. It's about the invisible walls surrounding people who depend only on a salary. Walls you cannot see until someone points them out. Today, I'm going to show you those walls. And more importantly, I'm going to show you how to walk through them. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear may become one of the most important financial conversations of your life. The weight of 90,000 hours. Let me ask you to do something. Think about the person you love most, your child, your parents, your partner, someone whose happiness matters deeply to you. Now imagine all the moments you missed with them, not because you didn't care, but because work demanded your time. The average person spends over 90,000 hours working during their lifetime. 90,000 hours. More time than they'll spend doing almost anything they truly love. And after those 90,000 hours, what does the average retiree have? Just enough to survive. Not enough to travel, stop worrying about money, or truly feel free. Just enough. And that is not the reward your life deserves. The saddest part, this isn't happening because people aren't hardworking. It's happening because the system was never designed to make employees wealthy. Think about what a salary really is. A company looks at the value you create and pays you only a portion of that value, enough to keep you returning tomorrow. That's not evil, that's business. The problem is that most people were taught to work hard, stay loyal, and trust the system without ever learning how wealth actually works. And millions of good people have paid the price for that missing lesson. But you don't have to. Your salary was designed to keep you comfortable enough to stay, not free enough to leave. The 3 silent traps. There are 3 invisible forces working against anyone who depends entirely on a job. And the dangerous thing about them is that you don't feel them happening. They work quietly. Year after year, until one day you wonder where all the time went. Trap number 1. You only earn when you work. This is the biggest weakness of trading time for money. You get sick, need rest, or life pulls you elsewhere, and the money stops. Wealthy people discovered something different. They build systems that continue producing income even while they sleep. That's called passive income, and it creates the difference between financial freedom and financial dependence. Trap number 2. Different rules for different income. This isn't about anger, it's about awareness. Employees are taxed before they can save or invest. Business owners and investors often use legal strategies, expenses, and investments to reduce taxable income. Same country, same laws, very different outcomes. Trap number 3. Inflation. Inflation is a silent thief. Groceries, rent, school fees, energy, everything becomes more expensive. But salaries often move slowly. Sometimes they don't move at all, which means every year your purchasing power shrinks, even if you're making the same amount. None of this happens because you made bad decisions. It happens because the cost of living rises faster than most incomes. These three traps create a financial ceiling that millions of hard-working people spend their lives pushing against, not because they failed, because nobody showed them another path. The system was built to make you productive, not wealthy. Those are not the same thing. Understanding that isn't pessimism, it's wisdom. Two people, same salary, different lives. Let me tell you a story. Two people, Amir and Sarah, same neighborhood, same education, same job, same salary, $3,000 a month. From the outside, their lives look identical. Amir does what most people do. He pays bills, enjoys his weekends, buys things that make life feel better, and promises himself he'll save seriously next year. But next year keeps becoming another next year. 30 years pass. He retires with limited savings and constant worry. Not because he was lazy, because nobody taught him differently. Now look at Sarah. Same salary, same starting point. But in year one, she made one decision. She decided her job would be her launchpad, not her destination. She lived on 80% of her income. The remaining 20% went to work, some into investments, some into learning valuable skills, some into assets that generated additional income. She didn't sacrifice her life or work herself into the ground. She simply stayed consistent. 30 years later, Sarah retires with options. She travels. She gives generously. She wakes up without alarms. And she spends her time however she chooses. Same salary, different mindset, different life. The difference wasn't luck. It wasn't talent. It wasn't connections. It was one decision made early and repeated consistently. And that same decision is available to you today. Don't quit your job. Use your job to quietly buy your freedom. That's the strategy nobody teaches you. The 5 moves that break you free. So how do you become Sarah instead of Amir? Not with dramatic changes, with intentional ones. Move 1. Change how you see your salary. Your paycheck is not just spending money, it's capital. Every time money enters your life, ask yourself, how much of this can I put to work? Move 2. Build a side income. Not someday. Now. Every person has a skill someone else would pay for. Writing, teaching, design, communication, organization, problem solving. You don't need a business empire. You need your first customer. Small beginnings create big outcomes. Move 3. Start investing before you feel ready, because you'll never feel completely ready. Nobody does. Even small amounts invested consistently over decades can transform your family's future. Time matters more than perfection. The math doesn't care about emotions. It only cares about consistency. Move 4. Invest in yourself. A skill that increases your income can be worth more than any stock. One course, one book, one mentor, one area of expertise. Markets can crash. Skills stay with you forever. Move 5. Never depend on one income again. One income stream creates vulnerability. 2 create stability. 3 create freedom. You don't build multiple incomes overnight. You build them 1 hour at a time. In the evenings. In the mornings. In the small spaces life gives you. 1 hour a day can completely change your future. Not because of motivation, because of mathematics. One income is borrowed security. Multiple incomes are real freedom. Build the second one before you desperately need it. Closing, a letter to your future self. Before I let you go, I want to speak to you for a moment. Not as a finance channel, not as someone teaching strategies, just as one human being who genuinely wants something better for another. You were not born to spend your best years making someone else's dream bigger while yours quietly fades. You were not born to reach retirement wondering whether it will ever be enough. And deep inside, I think you already know that. The people who build wealth are not smarter than you. They're not luckier than you. They're not more deserving than you. They simply learned something they were never taught before. And once they learned it, they acted. Now you know what they know. So the only question left is this: what will you do with this moment? Will you return to the same patterns? Or will you make one small decision that changes the direction of your life? You don't need to change everything today. Start one investment, learn one skill, build one additional income stream, save one extra dollar. Financial freedom isn't built in a single day. It's built through small, consistent decisions made by someone who finally decided they deserved better. And you do deserve better. If this video helped you see your future differently, share it with someone you care about. Leave a comment below and tell me your first move. I read every single one. And subscribe to VALTIQ Wealth, because every week we're here for one reason: to help you build a financial life worthy of everything you've already given. I'll see you in the next video. And remember this: your job is not your destiny. It is only your starting point. What you build from here is entirely, beautifully, and powerfully up to you.